Hello students. So yesterday we have completed with the unit first. It was just an introductory part of the microeconomics in which we covered the meaning of economics, the central problems of economics, production possibility curve and the opportunity cost. Now today we are going to start with the second unit. The second unit is comprised of mainly two topics, that is consumer equilibrium and the demand. And again, there are two approaches for consumers equilibrium analysis. One is the utility analysis and the second one is the indifference curve analysis. But in your syllabus, there is only utility analysis approach. So before starting that concept of consumers equilibrium, we need to know certain basic concepts. That is the concept of utility first. Utility. Okay. So, what do you understand by the term utility? In economics, the word utility refers to the satisfaction. It refers to the satisfaction that we get from the consumption of a commodity. So utility means the satisfaction that we get from the consumption of a commodity. Okay, like you desire for a mobile phone. Okay, you desire for a mobile phone and your father buys it for you, the mobile phone. And what you get a feeling like, wow, I got it, right? Wow, I got the mobile. The feeling that you get is called satisfaction. In economic terms, it is called as utility. What? In economic terms, it is called as utility. That is the satisfaction. And it is also called one satisfying power of the commodity. One satisfying power of a commodity. So utility is also called one satisfying power of the commodity. So it is that power of the commodity which is able to satisfy the want of the consumer. Now there are two approaches for measuring the utility. Two approach for utility measurement. Two approach for utility measurement, which is cardinal utility approach, and the second one is ordinal utility approach. Okay, so now what is the difference between these two approaches? Is that this approach, that is cardinal utility approach, was given by an economist. His name is Marshall. He says, according to this approach, he says that satisfaction can be measured in cardinal numbers. It means it can be measured in the exact numbers, can be measured in cardinal numbers. So he says utility can be measured in cardinal numbers. That means it can be measured in exact numbers like 1, 2, 3 and so on and so forth. It means, for example, if you are having a cup of tea, you get utility like say 2. It means this is the cardinal number utility that you are getting from the consumption of cup of tea is 2. It means it is expressed in the cardinal numbers. Now next is ordinal utility approach. It was given by an economist. His name is Hicks. Now what he says, according to this approach, according to ordinal utility approach, he says that utility or the satisfaction cannot be measured in the exact numbers. It cannot be measured in the cardinal numbers, but we can rank them according to our preferences. We can rank them, according to our preference. According to our preference. It means, for example, you are provided with a cup of coffee and a cup of tea. Now if someone asks you from which one, from the cup of tea or the cup of coffee, you will get maximum satisfaction, then according to this approach you won't be able to say it in exact number, but you can prefer, you will say I would prefer coffee than the tea. It means you are preferring, you are thinking that you will get more satisfaction from the coffee than that of the tea. This is what this approach means. Now we will study what is total utility. Total utility. So you know the word utility very well. It is the satisfaction. Now total utility, it means the sum total of utility that you derive from the consumption of certain commodities. It refers to sum total of utility derived or obtained from a consumption of commodity. So it is what? It is a sum total of utility that you derived or obtained from a consumption of commodity. For example, you are consuming two goods. Here you have consumed 2 units of goods. 2 units of goods, it can be anything. Now you say from first unit of good, from the first unit you get utility, say 10 utils, and from second unit you get say 9 utils. Now total utility, TU, which means total utility, will be equal to the sum of these utils, sum of the utils of two commodity, that is 19. That is 19 utils. Okay, so this will be the total utility. So again, total utility is the sum total of utility derived or obtained from a consumption of a commodity. Say here you are consuming 2 units. Say you are having 2 bananas. Okay, from the first banana you get 10 utils, and from the second banana you get 9 utils. Now what will be the total utility? Total utility will be the sum of the both of the utils, that is 10 plus 9, which will be equal to 19, and this will be the total utility. Next, what is marginal utility? Marginal utility. Now what is marginal utility? Okay, marginal utility, it is the utility, it is the additional utility derived from the consumption of additional commodity or goods. So marginal utility means the additional utility. Additional means the extra utility that we derived, from the consumption of additional commodity or additional goods. This is called marginal utility. For example, now you have consumed, you consumed 10 units of a commodity and it yields you satisfaction, say equals to 100 utils. Okay, now you have consumed one more unit, that will be the 11th unit, and after consuming the 11 units you will get satisfaction, say equal to 105 utils. 105 utils. Now the marginal utility of the 11th unit will be equal to 105 utils minus 100 utils. That will be equal to 5 utils. So this 5 utils is the marginal utility of 11th unit. It means that from the consumption of 10 units you get 100 units. When you consume the 11th one, the satisfaction or the utility from the 11th unit is 5. From the satisfaction from the 11th unit is 5, and these 5 is called marginal utility, which means the utility from the consumption of additional commodity. This one is the 11th one is the additional one. So the utility obtained from the 11th unit is 5, and these 5 is called marginal utility. Now the formula for marginal utility is, for example, marginal utility of nth unit will be equal to total utility of n unit minus total utility of n minus 1. Okay. For example, now earlier we have just derived marginal utility of 11th unit, right? And means the 11th unit is equal to total utility of n unit, which means total utility of n unit means the total utility of 11 unit, which was 105, minus the total utility of n minus 1, which means total utility of 11 minus 1, which will be equal to total utility of the 10th unit, which was 100. Therefore, the marginal utility of 11th unit will be equal to 5 utils. Okay, now students, you are familiar with the total utility and the marginal utility. You know what is totality and what is marginal utility. Now we will see what kind of relation exists between total utility and the marginal utility. This relation I have prepared a table and this graph for you to explain this relation. And in the table you see, in the first column I have shown the quantity of goods that you are going to consume. For example, here we are going to consume goods for 6 times, first, second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth one. And the total utility, it goes on increasing. From the first unit you get utility which is equal to 8, and when you consume the second unit the total utility becomes 14. When you consume the third one the total utility is 18, and so forth. It goes on increasing. And the third column is the marginal utility. So the marginal utility of first unit is 8, and the marginal utility of second unit is 14 minus 8, which is equal to 6. It means it is the utility of this second unit. It does not include the utility of first unit. So here 14 minus 8 is the utility of first unit. So to find the utility of the second unit, you have to deduct the utility of first unit from the total utility of the second one, which will be equal to 6. Then it will be the marginal utility of the second unit. Similarly, you keep on going till the end. Now from the whole table, what you observe is that as you go on consuming goods, the total utility goes on increasing, but the marginal utility it goes on decreasing. It reaches to 0 and it goes into negative. But there is a point that when the total utility is maximum, when the total utility is maximum, the marginal utility is 0. And also, here the total utility goes on increasing up to the certain point. It reaches to its maximum level and then it goes on decreasing. When the total utility is maximum, the marginal utility becomes 0 and it goes into negative. And the same table I have explained you with the graph here. On the x-axis, I have measured quantity consumed in both the figures, and on the y-axis I have measured utility in both the figures. So TU is the total utility curve and MU is the marginal utility curve. The total utility curve, it initially increases, reaches at its maximum level, that is at 20, here it increases and reaches at its maximum level, increases at its maximum level 20, and then it goes on decreasing. Now when you look at the marginal utility curve, it goes on decreasing and reaches to the 0 when the total utility is maximum, that is 20. At this time the marginal utility is 0. Further, if you consume from 5th unit to the 6th unit, the total utility goes on decreasing, that is it decreases from 20 to 18, and the marginal utility goes into negative. The point at which marginal utility is equal to 0, at this point, at the 5th unit of consumption, this is called the point of saturation. Okay, now you know what is utility, what is marginal utility, what is total utility. After studying all this concept, now we will study what is consumer equilibrium in one commodity case. So consumer equilibrium means a consumer is said to be at an equilibrium state that given his income and market price, he plans to incur his expenditure in such a way that he maximizes his total satisfaction. So a consumer is said to be in an equilibrium state given his income and market price. Given his income and market price, he plans his expenditure in such a way that he can maximize his total satisfaction after spending his income. So this is the meaning of consumer equilibrium. So a consumer is said to be in an equilibrium state when he satisfies this condition, that is MUX divided by PX equal to So a consumer is said to be in an equilibrium state when he satisfies this condition, that is marginal utility of commodity X divided by price of commodity X should be equal to the marginal utility of money. Now M means marginal utility of money, and this whole part becomes rupee worth of additional satisfaction. Okay. So a consumer is said to be in equilibrium state when this part is equal to this part. That is, rupee worth of additional satisfaction is equal to the marginal utility of money. Now, here I have explained this consumer equilibrium with the example of this graph. On the x-axis, again I have measured consumption of commodity X here, and on the y-axis I have measured marginal utility and price of commodity X here. This curve which is MUX curve, and this is the marginal utility of commodity X curve. It slopes downward from left to right, and this curve which is PX is price curve or the marginal utility of money curve, and it is constant because here we are assuming that price is constant and also the marginal utility of money is constant. Now at this point C, where marginal utility curve intersect this price curve, and this point is said to be the point of equilibrium, where price of X is equal to the marginal utility of commodity X, and this is said to be the point of equilibrium. Now 0.4, at this point the consumer is consuming 0.3 units of commodity and the price of commodity is 4. Now this 0.4 is the price which he actually pays, and from this is the this is that portion of price which he is willing to pay. So in this case, what becomes, at this point he is willing to pay this much, say price 5, but what he actually pays, he is getting commodity at low price, which is 4. It means he is getting some kind of surplus which is called consumer surplus. So the consumer surplus is maximum at the point of equilibrium, where what he is willing to pay equals to what he actually pays. Otherwise, above this point, what he is willing to pay is greater than what he actually pays. For example, sometimes we go to the markets, you want to buy a mobile phone for which you want to spend 10,000, say 10,000. Now you go to the market, go to the shop, mobile shop, and ask for a mobile. Now you are willing to spend 10,000 on a mobile phone, but you get the same mobile phone at say 8,000. Now 2,000 differences is the consumer surplus. So here 2,000 rupees is a consumer surplus, but at the equilibrium point, you will get mobile at 10,000. You are willing to pay 10,000 and you are actually paying 10,000. At this point, you will be in equilibrium situation. So it was all about today's, and today I have discussed the concept of utility, marginal utility, total utility, and the relationship between total utility and marginal utility, and at the last we have discussed consumer equilibrium. So it was all about today, and we will see you tomorrow with new topics. Stay safe, stay healthy. Jule.